Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. In today's video, as you saw on the title and thumbnail, I have for you the OPI Summer 2023 collection. I bought this collection myself from Polish Pick. I will link everything down below. And let's get into them because I have thoughts. Okay, let's get swatching. Before we start swatching, I want to say a couple things that apply to the whole collection just so that we're not repeating the same over and over. First up, these all dry with a satin finish. There's like a demi-matte, not fully matte, but also not glossy. So I think people call that satin. These are all, or seem to be, kind of quick drying. And also the swatch images that you're gonna see two hands. One is with the original finish and the other one has a glossy top coat. Sometimes it's more obvious than others, the difference you're gonna see. Then also one thing, remember for color accuracy, take a look at the image and not the video. And the swatch videos sometimes show 2 coats and sometimes show 3, but the images all have 3 coats. Oh, and one more thing, for all of these, I took some notes on my one nail swatch and then I took some additional notes once I did the full hand swatch. So you are gonna hear me talk about that, like initially, first impression versus when I actually did it in more detail. First up, we have Flex on the Beach, and I would say this one is like a coral. It's a very standard coral color. When I did my initial impression swatches, I thought it was streaky in the first coat, it was streaky in the second coat, and even at 3 coats, it wasn't perfect, but it was wearable. And then when I did the longer hand swatch, I noticed that it looked really nice with a glossy top coat, but keep in mind that if you have ridges on your nails, which I do now, you might still see some streaks. If you wear a ridge filling base coat, maybe it's gonna be perfect for you at 3, but it wasn't for me. I kind of struggled with the color accuracy on this one, actually. So I added a lo-fi kind of clip of me to try and show you guys a more accurate version of this. And also I did some comparisons. So some of these colors I'm gonna have comparisons for and some I'm not. So the ones that I do have comparisons for, you're gonna see it after the swatch. But yeah, up next we have Sanding in Stilettos, and this one's like a pearly creamsicle orange maybe. I don't know, but it's showing pretty accurate here on this bottle shot. So whatever you guys are seeing is what it is. I don't know the description. This one was the same situation as the previous one. Even at 3 coats, it wasn't perfect. Now, when I did the longer swatch, it was kind of like really bad on the first coat. Like, I have in my notes, so ugly. It was streaky, it was patchy, it was bold, it was potty, but on the 3rd coat, actually, when I did the 3rd coat and actually added the glossy top coat, it wasn't that bad, but it was a struggle. So it is definitely not a beginner polish, okay? You have to do the float and you have to do the feathering. Float is when you put less pressure on the brush and let the polish apply, and feathering is when you barely touch it with the brush just to kind of accommodate those little pearly streaks. Now, what I do have to say, when I added the 3rd coat and the glossy top coat on the full hand swatch, it kind of had this glowing nature, You guys know I don't like pearl, so that's not a secret, but I was like, oh, there's something that's glowing with this one, and it was kind of cute, I have to say. But anyways, it is a struggle, okay? Keep that in mind. Up next, we have Sunscreening My Calls, and this one is the same exact situation as the previous one. It wasn't even perfect at 3 coats. It was still a little bit streaky, but the pearly ones, for some reason, I don't know what it is. When I added the glossy top coat after the 3rd coat, they kind of looked okay. But again, it is a struggle. These are a struggle to apply because also they're quick dry, so they don't self-level very much. So they're streaky, quick, they dry quickly, so you cannot play with them too much. And then they don't self-level that well. So again, not beginner friendly, but after you struggle through it, that you get the 3 coats even and all of that, the color is actually very this is unique. I don't even have anything to compare this to. I don't own anything like this with the pearl and this color in a pearl, finish. So anyways, when it comes to uniqueness, maybe it's gonna be worth it for you, but it's not worth it for me because, pearl is not my favorite, so. Up next, we have Stay Out All Bright. This one was the same situation as the previous, not even perfect at 3, struggly, streaky, 1st coat, 2nd coat. Then on the 3rd one, you're gonna have to do a float. But these formulas are not float friendly because for things to float beautifully, they need to self-level. And these don't self-level that well. So even when you float them, sometimes it ain't it, okay? Let me tell you. Now, I have to say, again, after I added the top coat, it looks very bright, very nice. It's a nice color. The color story in this collection is very, very nice. So if any color here attracts you and you're okay with doing 3 coats and you're an experienced polisher, you're not gonna have a problem. But if you're a beginner, stay away because these are gonna like give you a nightmare. Just saying. Up next, we have summer Monday. I would say Monday through Fridays. It doesn't say through, it has a dash, but that's what it means, I guess. Again, same situation, broken record. Not even perfect at 3, but wearable at 3. All of these are wearable at 3, but if you're picky, you're not gonna even like be happy. Nobody's doing 4 coats. Like we don't go that far. I think what I recommend is up to 3 coats to reach perfection. But if something is not perfect at 3, it's just like throw the whole thing away, you know? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Okay, so after 6 polishes, we have reached 1. This one's called I'm Yet Leaving, where it's a 2-coater. This one was good at 2 coats. I actually did a 3rd coat to see what happened. Nothing changed because it wasn't needed. And then that was when I did the first nail swatch. I was like, oh my God, finally something that I can recommend from this collection, because the previous 5 is like, skip them, you know? But this one, then when I did the actual full hand swatch, I was like, well, I thought this was a 2-coater and I can probably wear it at 2, but in some nails, I still saw like maybe like a bolt streak or something like that. But I don't know. I would say in general, this one will be okay for most people at 2. I just have very rigid nails on some of them. Like my ring finger is like very struggling for me right now. But this is one that I would actually recommend. It's something that you don't have to be like an experienced polisher. You can make it work. And it's very, very beautiful. So, all right. Up next, we have Surf Naked. And this one is a pearly sky blue type of color. This one actually to be a pearl, it was one of the best ones here. I would say this one's a solid 2-coater, and I experienced that on my 1 nail swatch and also my full hand swatch. I was like, okay, it's good at 2, it's even, I don't see any streaks or bold spots or anything, and I did do a 3rd coat, but I felt like it wasn't needed. It didn't improve it at all because, again, you know, I didn't really need it. So just, this is a good one if you like pearly polishes. I feel like this one will be okay. It wasn't like as hard to work with as the other pearls that I tried. I would say this one's something I could recommend. This one and the previous one are okay. Up next, we have Charge It to Their Room. And this one was a solid 2-coater. Keep in mind, however, that when you actually do the first coat, it looks so streaky and so bad. And these types of colors are usually near 1-coaters. So I really don't know what OPI did with this collection. The formula is not the typical OPI formula. They have other colors in this family that are like perfection. They're experimenting, or someone else did these. This is an imposter. These are not regular OPIs that we're used to, okay? Now, again, when I did the full hand swatch thing, it was a 2-coater still. So this is another one that I could say I can recommend. Up next, we have Skate to the Party. And this one is the exact same situation as the previous one. It was a solid 2-coater. It's something that I would say you could be okay with. You don't need to be an experienced polisher to make it work. But also, again, these types of colors tend to be near 1-coaters. These colors are very easy to work with usually. They don't have that satin quick dry type of thing. And they tend to be like just almost perfect at 1. This one required 2, and the experience when you're using the polish, it feels like you gotta like kind of know what you're doing. Like it's not one of those that you just throw it and it goes perfect regardless, right? You have to be careful. With all of these, you have to be careful. But even these, so I'm kind of like, damn, even colors that OPI is known to nail every single time are kind of struggling in this collection. I really, really don't know what happened. I would like to like ask somebody like what happened here, you know? I don't know. All right, up next we have Bikini Boardroom. And I have to say, the names on the collection are freaking super cute. And the color story is so fun. It is a shame that they decided to make a change in this collection with the formulation, because everything else has so much potential. But anyways, this one has a very wonky brush for me, but I fixed it. You know, I just cut the little wonky, you know, hairs, cut them out. And then actually for a pearl, and, you know, the context that we have here in this collection where everything has been such a struggle, this one wasn't that much of a struggle. It feels very similar to the blue, where it was actually a solid 2-coater. And if you like pearls, then you're going to be okay with this one. Keeping in mind that it's still kind of quick dry and you're still gonna get that demi-matte finish, but it wasn't like one of those like you need 3 coats and it's still not perfect. No, it was actually solidly solidly even for me at 2 coats. But keep in mind that you do need to know how to work with pearls because those streaks are gonna get intense. Okay, up next we have I Quit My Day Job, and this one again is one of those that wasn't even perfect at 3. And I have in my notes, like, I think I was feeling a little bit frustrated by this point, and I have in my notes something that says, how can a pink be this bad in 2023? Honestly, like, what the hell's going on? You know, we know they can do better. We've just been over some other brands that have similar pinks that are like awesome. And it's like, OPI, come on, man. All right, next we have Make Outside. And this one was not perfect after the second one, but wearable. And it's slightly better than the previous pink. I did do a 3rd coat and that made it perfect. So, you know, at least at the 3rd coat, it looks perfect without streaks or anything. I feel like this one at 2 coats looks like how all the other ones look at 3. So I would say it's definitely better. Still not one of the best pinks out there, but if you like the color and you don't have anything like it, you're gonna be okay with this one. I do have a comparison here real quick, side by side between the 2 pinks. Let me show you. All right, so here we have Make Outside on the left and I Quit My Day Job on the right. And in the bottles, you can see very clearly that the one that says I Quit My Day Job is a little bit more like warmer, I would say, with the other one being a little bit more cool toned. And also the Make Outside seems to be a smidge, like really tiny bit like brighter, have more pink. This one's a little bit more white. Okay. All right, so I have some thoughts on this collection because I'm a little bit, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. Maybe frustrated. Yeah, I think frustrated fits what I feel because the color story is gorgeous. Okay, when you see the colors together, like if you look at the swatches and you don't know the struggles that we go through to get them looking that pretty, they're fantastic. Even the pearls I would have been okay with because even though I don't like pearls, the colors are unique enough that I'm like, okay, I will quote unquote allow it in my brain. I would say yes, they belong, you know? Because a lot of people do love pearls, and if they would have, you know, it would have been fine. The names are also super fun. I feel like this had the potential to be like top notch. And then when you actually look at the quality of the formulas, like I'm not even gonna compare it to other brands. I wanna compare OPI to itself. Like these 4 colors, actually 5, this 5, and even maybe the coral, like this is something where OPI thrives. These colors are usually near 1 coaters, and then 2, and they look perfect, they self-level, they're beautiful. Like, I don't know what happened here, but this is not the typical OPI that I'm used to is not this. All right, so I'm sorry this wasn't a very positive outcome, but anyways, I gotta be honest, and I really did want these to be perfect, but they're not, and they're actually subpar to what OPI is used to giving us, you know. So I really don't know what's happening. I have high hopes for fall because usually OPI does fall collections very well, but this summer collection, quality wise, was not it. Now if the colors do speak to you and it's something extremely unique and you're comfortable with the difficult formulas, then of course by all means, you're gonna be okay. The colors are fantastic. So that's it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like sad about this, but anyways, thank you guys for coming to my review, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.